The thing is, I was in her dressing room and I was like, there was only a little curtain separating us while she was having her makeup done, and I started like going, I don't think I can do this, I don't think I can do this, and she would have heard it all. And then she popped out, so I put on a brave face. But the second time I went out on a balcony and got on my hands and knees and cried.
If you didn't understand anything that Adele said in this video, keep going with me in this one because I'm gonna explain to you how you can improve your listening skills. Hello friend, welcome to your Christian Productivity channel. As my first tip, I really think that it's important for you to expose yourself to different accents. Usually when we are talking about native speakers, we only think about Americans and British people, but there are people that also speak English and they have their own accent, for example, the Australian and the Canadian. And for you to be recognized as a fluent person, it's important for you to understand what they are talking about. For you to expose yourself and understand people who have different accents, you can use TV shows and movies. I already said that in a few videos back, but I'm bringing this again because I know how much this is important. For instance, if you find yourself having a lot of difficulties to understand what someone who has a British accent is telling you, you can try to watch TV shows like Downton Abbey or The Crown. And of course that there's not only those nationalities, you can also find content from different countries to develop your listening. I'm a person who have an open mind about different accents. I definitely love to have contact with people with different accents. So I've always watched content from different countries and that made my listening really good. Even though my English it's almost 100% with the American accent, I definitely love the British accent and the Scottish accent as well. So I already watched so much stuff with those accents because I think they're amazing. By the way, I'm making this video in English because I want to show you that it's definitely possible to learn English by using the tips that I give in my channel. So everything that I'm saying here, try to apply in your life and you're gonna see the results, alright? It's essential for you to have a flexible English. This means that you're gonna be able to understand people that has different accents. It's not really enough for you to understand someone that is from America and not being able to understand someone that is from Europe and has a different accent. This is not gonna be effective to you. In this sense, the exposure is the key to develop a good listening ability. Besides series and TV shows, movies and all of that, you can also use podcasts to improve your listening skills and be able to understand native speakers. There's a podcast that is called The English We Speak. It's from BBC and I check it out, it's great. The video that I was listening was explaining common expressions in English like take it something to heart. And at the same time they're gonna have access to different accents. The podcast was in the British accent. At the same time that you are having this contact, you're also going to be able to understand those kind of expressions. And the third thing that you can do is to listen to a lot of songs. I remember that listening to songs was one of my first steps. There's a lot of instruments that it's being played at the same time that the artists are trying to sing. So this is gonna be good for you to learn how to identify the words while there's a lot of noise in their environment. With the song, it's gonna be harder to understand what is being said. But don't give up because when you are able to understand what people are trying to sing, this is gonna be great for you. And I also remember that when I was in the beginning, I used to watch a lot of interviews with the artists that I really enjoy it. It was not always that the interviews had subtitles, so it was very challenging for me, but this also helped me to learn. Aqui eu gostaria de citar mais uma vez a importância de você estudar com coisas que você ama. Eu lembro que quando eu vi essas entrevistas, como eu mencionei, não tinha legenda, era muito desafiador compreender o que estava sendo dito, mas eu gostava tanto daquele artista, eu queria tanto saber da vida dele, que eu continuava assistindo. E isso não se limita só a entrevistas, você pode buscar por algo que você ama muito e que você sabe que você não vai desistir de ver, de assistir, de ler. Por mais que seja difícil, você vai amar tanto que você vai prosseguir naquilo. Eu indico muito que você tente usar essa estratégia ao seu favor. In the second part of this video, I'm gonna indicate to you to use transcription. In other words, you're gonna read while you are listening to something. So if you, again, let's use the example of a podcast. If you're listening to a podcast, try to use the transcription. You're gonna read what you're listening. In my video where I explain to you how did I learn English by using my Bible, I explain a little bit more about this technique. So it's possible to use the transcription by yourself, but you also can use different tools to develop this technique as well. I was searching and I found out about this website that is called English Central, and it's just absolutely great. And I noticed that you can use transcription and you also can use videos to learn English. There's a bunch of exercises and I really indicate this website. I'm gonna try to make a video about it so you can understand all the things that are in the website so you can learn. Finally, I'm gonna talk with you again about shadowing. If you don't know this technique, you can use it in two ways. The first is the easiest one because you're gonna repeat the words that you think are more interesting. So if you listen to an entire sentence, you can decide one word to repeat. And if you use shadowing in the second way, you're gonna repeat all the sentence so you can understand how to say properly every single word that you are listening. Of course, that the second way, comparing to the first one, it's more difficult because you're gonna have to stop what you're listening to repeat. You stop and repeat. While in the first one, you can just repeat whatever you want. You're gonna spend time imitating the speaker's intonation and rhythm, and eventually you're gonna notice how much you have improved. Finally, to understand what native speakers are telling you, you need to identify keywords and also the key expressions. First of all, we are going to talk about keywords. I separated a few examples, so let's consider that you are in a health talk and those keywords are always repeated. So nutrition, exercise, well-being. You can identify easily what is the subject when you try to focus in these keywords that are always repeated in the conversation. And when we go to the second part where you need to understand the expressions, the common expressions, I can bring you to idioms. For example, break the ice. Sometimes we think that we need to know every single word to understand what someone is telling us, but that's not true. We just need to have attention and focus to completely understand. Let me give you another example. We need to enhance our vocabulary for better communication. If you don't know the word enhance, you can try to understand by the context. And then you're gonna figure it out that enhance means increase or add to. And if the attention is not working for you and trying to focus in the keywords and in the expressions, try to change the speed, try to put it a little bit slow so you can understand what is being said. And then when you get used to the vocabulary and when you can understand the words properly, you can change the speed so you can be normal again. You have to be careful when you expose yourself to different accents, and I explained this in this video where you can also learn how to practice your English by using series and movies. I see you in the next one, and remember, you are loved. Bye!